Hey there, Stephanie Joy with All Things Social Security and the Law Practice of Joy Disability. Here's a short little segment from our recent live stream Q&A that we have every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the YouTube channel, All Things Social Security. Enjoy, and if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments, and I will be sure to get to them. Thanks so much. Bye-bye now.
Hey guys, how is everybody? Shiloh, I see you are here bright and early with 5 million questions. We'll see. We'll get through them, but we'll probably jump around because I don't want to make everyone else not be heard. Are you? Dimple's in the house. Dimple says yes, she can hear us. Okay, good. Guys, you know Shannon Justice of Justice Disability. Shannon's in Kentucky, right? And Shannon, do you see the postings part? The
comments, yeah, I see them.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to put your website in there, so if anyone wanted to reach out to you, feel free. You know, you could just type it right in there. It'll come up on the page. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it'll let me.
Okay. Anyway, so Shannon's been here before a couple times. So we're gonna share your questions, and you can see maybe a couple different perspectives and stuff like that. All right, so let's go back up to the start. I'm going to start with Barbara Gillespie. Nice to see you again this week, Barbara. I was told they were sending my medical records to be reviewed. Who's that? I guess I'm still in stage 3. Oh, I think maybe what they're saying, was that the DDS that said they're sending it to the medical expert that they have to look at them and figure out your RFC? That would be a stage 3 thing in that area. How do I know if they received all my medical records? If you're unrepresented, you're going to have to ask the adjudicator. I'd call the adjudicator. Does the grid matter at this point? That will matter on whether you're over 50 or under 50. Any thoughts there, Shannon? Any refutes? Anything I'm not thinking of? I'm sorry, it takes a second for your voice to pick up for some reason. Can you repeat that? Because if you keep it short.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. To call the adjudicator if she's not represented?
Yeah, because that's the only way to know what they have.
Yeah. If you were represented, then your representative, if they practice more than minuscule, will be able to go in and see the electronic file and see everything that's been received. But if you're self-represented, you don't have that, obviously. But you can call the adjudicator. Chenmi says, I won the remand and I have it. Yeah. Chen's unhappy with this ALJ's behaviors. Hi, KTN. What do I do if doctors are not writing notes? Also, what if they tell SSA you're not disabled? Jenna, you want to take that?
Find a doctor. There's doctors everywhere. You've got some that thinks everybody should be on the job the day they die, regardless of what's wrong with them. You don't want one of those doctors. You want one that's actually going to help you and listen to you. So go find another one.
I agree. Nothing wrong with changing up. Ick Meyer says, if I could get you in here, Ick, just recently got Medicaid and started to get treatment. Good. Everyone who does not have health insurance and it's because of money between you and spouse or whatever, I would do it. I would do it in a New York minute. It won't be forever, that Medicaid. So Ick Meyer also says he or she just filed for SSD in February, so you're very early on in the process. Sly says, just got my denial letter 5 minutes ago. How do I go about getting legal help and an appeal started? Yeah, I would suggest you definitely get representation. I know, you can fill out one of our evals. I can't say whether or not we have, opening your category, but you can also, ask Shanna to take a look. She probably, do you have like an intake thing or thing they go to provide information?
I have a contact form on my website, and put your phone number and email address in, and someone will give you a call. But I am accepting new cases, and we'll talk to you and go from there if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. Mr. Pet Mom's in the house. Finally got my back pay after waiting 4 months. Good. We talked about this last week. 4 months without back pay. I said, that's a long time. I think you need to be the squeaky wheel. And I think Mr. Pet's attorney had been paid, but not, and sometimes those can go in different order, right? The representative can get paid. However, 4 months is a long time, I think. I contacted my congressman, and I'm hoping he has something to do with it. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Did you do that after we spoke, or had you done that before then? Just curious, because I think I said that last week. I'm like, call them, and if you tried that and it's still not good, sometimes you gotta reach out to the congressperson. You do it sparingly, but I think that's one of them. Escobar is in the house. Nice to see you. Good afternoon. What is the possibility to win SSDI for PTSD, being a veteran with understand for PTSD and Philly pay? Yeah, I have some thoughts, Shannon.
It depends on the treatment you're still continuing to get, because the rules are different for VA versus Social Security, and it has to be documented treatment still, not just the approval. And most a lot of people stop.
Yeah, I agree. And because the PTSD they awarded you did not say that you are unable to do all jobs and every single job, right?
Yeah.
It just says for their definition. Also, I think much will depend on so just to add this to it, on your vocational profile, over 50, under 50. You have to make it that black and white. And do you have physical problems? If you're over 50, if you're under 50, you just have to be wiped out by the PTSD. Like you can't do a third grade job with no stress and everything else. It's like really a big burden. If you're over 50, you need to have physical problems. And I'm sure if you're over 50, who doesn't have some degenerative changes? And that's what you really have to go to town to while continuing to treat for your PTSD. And say hello to Philly, the city of brotherly love, or so they tell us. I see a lot of crime, so I don't really go to Philly. It's about an hour and a half away from me. Simple says, thanks to treatment options they have copay assist, which still counts against my deductible. Sweet. Ah, Christina is in the house. Christina, I don't know if you were here before. I mentioned you. Where are you? Hello, friends. Please share the live stream. That's a great idea. Mark Benson says, I'm going to start crying if the ALJ gives me a denial letter. Oh, Mark. I know we spoke last week, right? Hang in there. Persevere, chin up, and just make sure you always know your path so that you know whichever result you got, you know what step you're taking next. And if you don't have a path because of maybe no more insured status, maybe think about whether or not you're going to be able to change that. You know, I'm always talking about that DLI. But keep positive. Regardless, keep positive. I'm seeing the comments, guys, which I will review more later, but I'm just going to try to find the questions because we've been troopers today, Shannon and I. It's pushing 3 hours. Usually it's a 2-hour limit, Shannon, but I have trouble pulling myself away if there are questions.
I get it. Completely.
And I'm so sorry, Shiloh. I don't know that we'll get to your function stuff, which is way up above. But if you want to put them in like a post underneath one of the videos, I can try to get to them there. What do you think? Okay, this is a conversation. I'll let you guys continue your private conversations or private public conversations. Biscuit is in the house. Wait, no, Michael Ruth. Oh, here's what Michael was talking about. State deducts SNAP, kicked off medical soon due to cost of care. Okay, so the state does not touch your Social Security. It just says you're no longer poor enough for SNAP. So that's a whole different animal. And it's true. When you make more money, you're going to have probably less welfare benefits that you can take from others because you have your own income, right? And yes, you're going to be kicked off of Medicaid because you're now going to have your income might be too high. This is one of the things I think is a big problem. Not so much the SNAP, but I'm going to just address real quickly here that 2-year window before Medicare kicks in, Shanna, for many people. If their SSD is too high, and I'm not talking about a $4,000 a month taker. I'm talking about, I don't know, maybe even like $1,500. They're going to lose their Medicaid possibly. And now they can't really afford to go out by their own on their $1,500. So I think that is such a problem. I think there needs to be a solution for that.
Yeah,
and
that
again,
2-year gap is awful.
Yeah, in those situations, a practical solution for those that can do it is that part-time job I was talking about before that's under TWP and under SGA and doesn't belie your disabilities to make just enough money to buy your marketplace policy or whatever, Obamacare or whatever you're going to buy. I do think that's a problem. I think it should be, I would like to see the Medicaid have a sliding scale like, well, now you have. It could even be like, I don't know. It's just got to be a way where you can keep it, but you're going to pay for it, you know. And then when your Medicare comes in, which you'll be like so grateful for, then you're gonna have your premiums, but that's a whole nother story. And you might not have like Medicaid paying those premiums because maybe it is too high. But at least you'll have, for $200 a month, you have Medicare from your benefit versus nothing right now, no options. Yeah. And it's funny, Michael, did you say you were in Massachusetts? I would think that's one of the most liberal providers of benefits, welfare benefits of all, maybe. And you're saying that your SSD is too high. Well, then maybe it is high. Maybe it's beautifully high. Again, I'm a protector of welfare benefits because there has to be a limit to how much income we have and still expect to have our working counterparts, many of whom can't have any savings whatsoever because they're paycheck to paycheck, paying for us to keep all of our benefits, even though we now have $2,000 more a month than we did before. I'm very protective of those funds because they are paid for by people who can, are just trying to get by in life as well. They're just able to still work to do it. So it's one of those things that I see both sides. I would like to see a little bit of a sliding scale with these things maybe that we're not seeing. So that maybe, Michael, instead of them kicking you off totally, it's like a sliding scale thing, particularly for the health insurance for that 2-year gap. That's so troubling to me. Yeah. Biscuit, I'm sorry I had to put you off there for a second, but then I saw Michael Ruth actually was kind of talking about things to talk about. They're not having a private conversation. 63-year-old disabled RN, registered nurse, labeled, I'm confused, deceased, all assets seized by authorities. I'm not going to know anything. I don't even understand what this is. I'm sorry, Biscuit, I don't understand. But I see something adjoins a county cemetery. Quite frankly, I always wanted to live next to a cemetery. I thought it'd be very peaceful. I know. I do like to walk through them and some of the older ones and read the tombs. And you almost think about every person that you read their tomb. So I don't know. I think they get a little bit of credit. I don't know. You see couples. Sometimes you'll see a child's tomb. It's like, and sometimes stuff from the Civil War and Revolutionary. Like you see some really old, fascinating stuff. You know, think about the people that actually walked here before us. User says, ever represent anyone with narcolepsy or idiopathic hypersomnia? For sure. Have you, Shannon?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to get your proofs, but it's doable. And God bless you if you got that. You want to talk about absenteeism interfering with being on task. Just fall asleep sitting up. Oh, Mr. Pet Mom is clarifying that he got his stuff after we talked. Well, I hope I gave you good advice. But if it was being sent to you anyway because you contacted your congressman before that, I will take that as well. I'm just very glad you got paid. The Rocha says, can SSA require applicants to take applications like SSRIs? Oh, take medications. Did I say applications? SSA doesn't require you to do anything. You could just not treat. They're just not going to award you. I think your question more to the point is, will I be denied if I don't take medications like SSRIs or antipsychotics to qualify? Not necessarily. I think you have to really put in the record why you don't, and it can't just be because I don't feel like it. I mean, if you're psychotic and you wouldn't be psychotic, but for the fact that you don't take psychotic medications, guess what? You're and I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you're doing this. You're opting to the side effects of the thing to you are worth it to be psychotic and not be able to work and self-sustain and take care of family. So sometimes people, you have to present a persuasive reason as to why. And it can't just be like, well, I don't believe in putting anything synthetic in my body. Well, guess what? We don't believe in paying someone disability funds who can actually prevent their disability, but choose not to. You're going to have to really do and it's this other question. Can aides be paid to medicate without consent? I don't think so. I don't think you can be medicated without your consent unless you are perhaps a person who is now under like a conservatorship or guardianship because you'd lack the capacity. So if you've been found to, and that would be, I think, a judicial hearing. That would be something in state court that someone has to fight for that, Otherwise, I'm pretty sure you retain the right to pick and choose your own medical treatment. No one can force you. They don't have to give you benefits if you don't care to treat, but they hold you down and force you down. Unless, of course, again, it's that other situation. KTA, I keep saying that wrong. Does a disabled person have to be in crutches or canes in the eyes of the SSA? No, very few of mine are, and they all want. What do you say, Shannon?
That, sometimes that helps if you need that.
If you need them, then by all means. But that's not the only way to prove you can't. Yeah, you can't work a full-time job on a sustained basis.